Welcome to Speak Smart Moments, everyone. Today, we're diving into the idea that big success in English isn't about cramming study hours or chasing perfect grammar. It's about small, everyday habits.
Yeah, that's an interesting twist. Absolutely. It's like you're building your skills incrementally, right? Small actions each day, little by little, stack up. Kind of like drops in a bucket that eventually fill it.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like when you water a plant just a little bit every day, you get this big green tree, right?
Yep, got it. So let's talk about that secret. It's those tiny habits that you can do every day, like listening, speaking, writing. Am I right?
Right on the money. Think about it. Instead of obsessing over being perfect for hours, you engage in a listening habit for 10 minutes. It can be anything: music, podcasts, the news. Even if you don't catch every word, your ears start picking up the rhythm, the flow of the language.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's not just about hearing English, right? It's about actively tuning your brain to the language um, so that it eventually becomes natural. But doesn't that sound a bit too simple sometimes?
It might sound surprisingly simple, but sometimes the simplest strategies are the most effective. I mean, look at it like this. If you practice speaking 2 or 3 English sentences daily, maybe talk about your plans or even describe your breakfast, soon you're engaging more comfortably in conversation.
Correct, that everyday effort really adds up. Yeah, I remember a case where a student started by just saying one sentence in front of her mirror every morning, and eventually she was confident enough to record little videos in English. It's so inspiring.
Totally inspiring indeed. And that kind of habit, to stand in front of the mirror and, you know, say something out loud, it's not just about speaking the language, it's about building confidence. Confidence that spills over into everything else in learning English.
Right, confidence really is key. Now, I get that consistency is super important, but what about days when you feel really low on energy? Is it really worth pushing out even a tiny habit?
Great question. And yeah, even on those off days, doing just a little is better than nothing. I mean, even a 5-minute session can reinforce the progress. It's like a drop in the bucket that keeps your momentum going.
I see what you mean. I guess the idea is that the burden of a long study session is removed. Whatever you do, even if it's minimal, makes a difference.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the writing habit. Keeping a simple diary in English, even if it's just 2 or 3 lines every night, really helps track your progress in vocabulary and grammar.
Yeah, it's like little steps eventually leading to a noticeable change. Right. But I must challenge one point here. Some people might argue that these tiny habits aren't enough to see a big difference. What would you say to that?
Good point there, and I see that argument a lot. However, think about this. If, you do 10 minutes a day consistently, that adds up to um, more than 60 hours in a year. And 60 hours of focused language exposure can be incredibly
Yeah, that
transformative over
arithmetic really
time.
clears it up. True, math doesn't lie. It's not about a huge burst of hours in one day, but a consistent pattern that guides you forward.
And then there's the listening habit tip. It's not about understanding every word immediately. Rather, it's about gradually getting accustomed to the sounds, the intonation of English. It's like tuning your ear to a new song, over and over again.
Right, repetition truly is the mother of learning. Oh, for sure. And speaking of repetition, another solid recommendation is speaking out loud daily, even if you're unsure or stumble over words at first. That's where the progress truly happens.
Yes, exactly. Think about it. With each sentence you speak, you're doing a mini rehearsal. Soon enough, you might end up having spontaneous conversations without even thinking, like muscle memory for your tongue.
Absolutely, that muscle memory concept is spot on. And let's talk about how a small daily practice can lead you to becoming someone who isn't afraid to mix up their thoughts in English, however imperfectly, right?
Definitely. Everyone's journey is unique, but this method, Small habits levels the playing field. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. Even during busy days, allocating 10 minutes for listening or speaking still makes a measurably positive impact.
Yep, never underestimate those tiny routines. I'm curious, though, how do you keep yourself motivated? Because while the idea is simple, it can be challenging to stick with it consistently.
Oh, that's an excellent point. I think one trick is to reflect on the progress you've made, however modest it may seem. Maybe even compare where you were 6 months ago versus now. And also, celebrating small wins, even if it's just a little internal high five for a job well done.
Exactly, celebrating progress, no matter how small, really encourages you to keep going. That's a neat approach. And it fits perfectly with the idea that building consistency is more important than immediate perfection.
Absolutely, it's a journey. And like planting a seed and watching it grow into a tree, it happens slowly but becomes solid and unshakable with time.
Yes, I absolutely love that analogy. Let's break down, for our listeners, the 3 killer habits they can start today.
Sure thing. First habit, listening. Dedicate just 10 minutes a day to listening to English, whether it's your favorite song, a podcast, or even snippets from the news.
Right, keep those ears engaged. Got it. Second habit, speaking. Say 2 to 3 simple sentences each day aloud. You could talk about your day, describe a picture, or just express how you feel. The key is to not be afraid of a little mistake here and there.
Right on. And the third, and perhaps equally important habit, is writing. Keep a short diary in English, just 2 or 3 lines every night. Over time, you'll notice that your vocabulary and your writing style have blossomed.
Exactly, it's like chronicling your own growth. And isn't it fascinating how these simple actions, when done consistently, can transform your fluency? It really is a gentle, persistent push toward improvement.
Totally. Let's not forget the reality. There isn't one magic trick or overnight miracle. It's about, persistence. Just like how I once started listening to Spanish music every morning, and over months, I could, understand and even sing along. It's proof that, consistency really beats intensity sometimes.
Yeah, that personal story really drives it home. Speaking of which, I think that personal insight into learning languages through small habits is truly relatable. It demystifies the process and makes it feel attainable for everyone.
Right. It's like saying, hey, you've got this. You don't need to carve out hours. Just a few minutes every day add up to something remarkable.
Yes, it's a game changer. Now, some might argue that dedicating only a few minutes daily might not be enough to master a language. But honestly, don't you think that this method cuts out the overwhelm and makes learning more enjoyable?
I do, but I respectfully challenge that perspective a bit. While short sessions are ideal for steady progress, some learners might need more intensive sessions when they're preparing for something specific, like an exam. However, the beauty of these small habits is that they're sustainable long-term.
True, it's all about balancing daily routines with occasional focused study sessions. Right. The key takeaway is that everyone's journey is different, but consistency is universally powerful.
Yes, indeed. And if we think about it, even 10 minutes a day amounts, when you look at it over the year, to over 60 cumulative hours of practice. That's enough to see a drastic improvement, especially when you combine
Absolutely,
listening,
the math really
speaking,
does show
and
the
writing.
impact. So, if our listeners are feeling overwhelmed by the idea of learning English, remind them, start small. Just a few minutes every day, and you're on your way to a more fluent future.
Exactly. Just start with one sentence, one song, one diary entry, tiny daily efforts that build up steadily.
Yes, every step matters. It's a gentle reminder that sometimes the smallest steps are the ones that lead to the greatest transformations in our lives.
Indeed. And if you ever feel frustrated or impatient, remember that every single progress is worth celebrating. Each day you practice, no matter how little, is a
Right?
win.
Celebrate that win. All right, let's quickly recap for anyone tuning in. 1. Listen to English for 10 minutes. 2. Speak out loud in simple sentences. And 3. Write a few lines in an English diary. Each reinforces your ability bit by bit.
That's the secret sauce. Small habits create substantial results over time. So, don't wait for the perfect moment. Just start today, even if it's just a small step.
And remember, progress is a journey, not a destination. Embrace each small habit, and soon enough, you'll see the growth in your fluency.
Thanks for joining us on Speak Smart Moments. Keep practicing those small habits, and your future self will definitely thank you.
Speak smart and keep learning.